January is the month of realigning and choosing your direction for the year. And a part of aligning yourself really is stemmed in your identity. Who am I? Who have I been showing up as? Who would I like to show up as? And the best way to do that is to go through the roadmap. But more specifically, right now, let's talk a bit about a review. You see, a lot of folks, we set New Year's resolutions. We set these goals for the new year, but we don't take the time to look back at where we just came from. A lot of the times I'll do something and it'll feel big or feel interesting or feel like something that I should be happier about than I currently am. I don't really take a lot of time to celebrate my wins. Last year was an incredible year. If you don't take a moment to just sit, reflect, have gratitude, have appreciation for, you're not even going to realize that it happened. You're going, like, so many of your goals that you had in the past that you were working towards and that you wanted to make happen probably have already been happening, but you're not taking the time to review them, to say, hey, wow, this did happen. Hey, wow, that did happen. So I say all this to say, I want to invite you to do a personal audit of last year. And you don't have to go super crazy in depth. You don't have to go so specific, all the intricacies and this and that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But at the very least, I would invite you to say, hey, what is at least one thing that happened last year that I'm proud of, that I'm grateful for, that I'm excited about? Or what are 5 things? Heck, I used to always tell folks, look, your goal should be any room you step into, any event that you go to, any movie you watch, and all these experiences you're having in life, try to find 5 things, 5 key takeaways. Not 10, not 20, just 5. And if you can find 5 key takeaways, you'll really be able to say, hey, look, these are some great things that happen. So let's do that together. I want you to think about 5 key things that happened last year. 5, whether they're wonderful, whether it was pivotal, whether it was educational, whether it's transformational, whatever. What are 5 things that happened to you last year? It doesn't have to be a binary good or bad. Sometimes the bad things that happen to us are blessings in disguise, right? They're lessons in disguise. So what are 5 things that happened last year? 5 pivotal points. And as you think about these things that happened last year, I want you to consider, did they bring you closer to the dream life that you would like to live? Or did they bring you further from the dream life that you would like to live? Now, as you're thinking about them, maybe you're writing them down. Maybe you're not like me driving right now. Maybe you have time. You actually sit down and write them down. I want you to then start to say, okay, if I were to build upon, if I were to expand upon, because I learned this last year and now moving forward, I want that. Or I went through this hardship last year. This is a lesson I had. Now I would like to fill in the blank. And as we start to align ourselves for 2026, this whole month, that's all we're doing. We're just aligning. Take it easy this month. Don't go crazy. Just align. I want you to think, what would my life look like if I were to? So maybe last year you started going to the gym more. I talk about the gym a lot more because I'm back working at a gym. It's like on my mind 24/7. I started working out more. I was going like 2 times a week. I was feeling good. Because of that, I learned how to overcome certain difficulties. If I were to realign myself with my ideal version of myself, I would then insert, fill in the blank. Last year, I made this much money. I traded this many hours for this many dollars, right? I was able to save this much, or I was able to erase this much debt, or I was able to fill in the blank. This year, if I could make this much money, if I could hit this financial goal, if I could clear this much debt, if I could invest in my first stock ever, I don't know where you guys are at, so I'm trying to throw out a bunch of stuff. Then I would fill in the blank. And start to align yourself with that identity. Who would you be in order to accomplish those things? Think of the 5 major things you did last year. And this year, just pick 5 things. You don't have to... For me, I like to pick 3 core things every quarter. It works for me. But I have like maybe 2 to 5 really big things that by the end of the year I want done. And I break them down into these smaller goals. So every quarter I'm working towards them in these smaller and smaller goals. And then see where it goes from there. If I were to, then I would. And then you figure out the rest. Like, things fall into place. You started to align yourself with the future that you'd want. Now, if you were to accomplish those things, or if you were to change into the person that was able to accomplish the things that you want, what are some non-negotiables that would then have to be true? What are some things that would have to change now and would need to be true in order for you to be that version of who you want to be, to live the life that person wants to live? If you were someone that had more influence and you're someone that's more social, what does that look like? Would you go places more, to meet more people, to make more friends, to network more? Would you actually use social media and social networking sites to actually be social and network without any agenda other than, I want to meet more dope people? Who would you have to be to make these things a reality and expand your connections? What would you have to do to be that person? And as you go through that, you'll start to see the path in front of you much simpler, much easier to navigate. That wraps up today's episode of Ty's Travel Talks. If you like this video, or if you got something out of this video, I'd like to know from you guys, what's one thing that you learned from this little chat with Ty? What's one thing that stood out for you, or one lesson from what I shared today that you think other people pay attention to? Drop it down in the comments below. With that being said, stay blessed by the best, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.